My name is Dr. Melanie Rees-Roberts, and I'm a senior researcher at the University of Kent. Together with my colleague, Palmira Ramos, our two fantastic public advisors, and Professor Sally Kendall, we've been conducting a research project to explore and understand the experiences of young migrant women who have recently moved to the southeast in Kent, Surrey or Sussex. We were particularly interested to hear their stories and to understand how moving from one country to another affected their mental health and well-being in positive or negative ways. So to explore these experiences, we spoke to 8 young women in individual interviews. In addition, we also spoke to healthcare professionals and social care professionals who had a role in supporting young migrant women in their transition to this country. In workshops with 16 to 18-year-olds at the Kent Youth Summit in autumn 2022, we created images to explore migration and the impact this might have on people. These images help us to illustrate the key messages of our research. Our first theme was a welcoming society and community. A welcoming community had a fundamental positive impact on the well-being of young migrant women. Many had experienced discrimination. If they found a community that was understanding and non-discriminatory of diverse cultures, a new identity could be found quicker and in a more positive way.
有时候，如果你来自一个完全不同的国家和地区，要感到归属感，那有点困难。
I was one of the only black people in my class, and it was not the best because of the culture clash. People were not understanding.
This brings me to our second theme of finding a new identity. Young migrant women all went on a journey to find the new them, with many experiencing culture clash. Understanding how to form a new identity or a sense of fitting in with their new surroundings and connections took time. All the young women we spoke to exhibited extreme personal resilience, coming out stronger once settled.
I sometimes feel conflicted because I grew up in a different community, surrounding and environment.
Our third theme was early support. Having early support was critical to help with a quick and smooth transition, reducing the associated stresses of migration. Simple things like people helping them to know where to go for things made a difference. All the young migrant women knew their own mental health needs and what they needed to support that, but found information about services that might help difficult to find, not relatable or not for them.
It was really hard in the beginning. My English was nowhere near what it is now when I first moved in.
Being a migrant in England, it's just really hard. Getting a house, it's just harder, and getting a bank account is hard, and registering.
Our next theme was having an ideal support system. Finding a sense of belonging was linked to the support systems surrounding the young migrant women. Things like living in a diverse community, links to community groups, good friends and supportive family. Community support was sometimes lacking, but some found this through community groups. Finding a mentor or a supportive professional within their school or university. This seemed to make all the difference, especially if those people had similar experiences or cultural backgrounds.
Right now, my mental health is good because I've found my friendship group where I am feeling more accepted for the way I am, because it's more of a diverse friendship group.
Especially my tutor. I think because she's from the same country as I am, so she's gone through everything I've been through. She's been in my position before.
Our final theme was support services and access. Professionals we spoke to told us of the current service challenges, including staffing issues and budget constraints. However, across the communities, charities, school and other public health services, there was lots to offer. Professionals not knowing what was out there for support within local services was noted, and that better integration and knowledge of these would help young migrant women access and be signposted to support.
There is not enough money available. The third sector is essential, but it's not resourced to the way that is required.
By understanding the stories of these young women, we have 4 key advocacy messages we want to share. Firstly, challenge yourself and those around you to create a welcoming society with inclusive communities to combat discrimination. Secondly, we advocate that cultural competency training should be mandatory for all professionals working with migrant communities. This will help their culture and identity to be respected. Thirdly, migration can be a positive experience. Services need to work early to prevent poor well-being and should target those most in need or at risk, particularly those who have had traumatic migration experiences. Finally, we need to link the range of existing services available, as great work is going on but not accessible. Services need to think about how they can be relatable to young people and those from migrant backgrounds. We hope you found our findings of interest and maybe some of those experiences resonated with you.